Born out of the basement of founder and CEO Patty Brisbane's home in Cincinnati, Ohio, Pure Romance is an international in-home party company that sells an exclusive collection of relationship enhancement products.
I was a young mom with 4 children. I was listening to the Donahue Show. This particular morning, there were several women who had just started their own business, and that was going into other women's homes and talking about intimacy, relationship, and also selling products that they could buy to take their relationship to the next level. Later that afternoon, I had a friend of mine that called me because our children were going to go to ball practice that night, and she had said she had went to a party the night before. And I said, "You've got to be kidding me. Tell me about this." And she said, "Patty, the only thing I'm going to tell you is when I woke up this morning, my husband looked at me and said it was better than our first honeymoon. And we just had our second that night." So I said, this could be for me.
I was at a bus stop. I was like 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. And a couple of guys came up, and one of the boys was older, came up and said, "Hey, your mom's a sex toy lady." I said, "What?" I'm
like, oh my gosh, here we go. It's that time. What are you really going to say? How are you going to handle this? And he goes, "You sell them vibrators."
Next thing you know, I throw him down. We're rustling around on the ground. Bus driver comes, separates both of us, puts one in one chair, puts another in the other chair. And we end up having to go to the principal's office.
Every night, I'm out there and I'm helping other parents. I'm helping other mothers learn to communicate better, learn to have open dialogue with their significant others. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go to the bus stop, and if you have any issues thereafter, come back and let me know. But I said, also let all the kids at the bus stop know that their moms have been to my parties before too.
And if one of those boys ever comes to school and says another word to you, I'm going to give them the invoice of their parents, and you can hang it up on the bulletin board. Just back in the 80s and early 90s, where people didn't talk about sex, they didn't talk about this type of thing. And she was out there saying, you know what, women have been silenced for too long, and you know what, I'm going to give them a platform where they can talk to each other and they can educate each other and they can work to overcome these things.
I love what I do. I love Pure Romance. I love being able to empower women and to educate women, and I certainly love to entertain women. You know, I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
With Pure Romance, consultants host in-home parties and introduce women to our one-of-a-kind selection of bedroom accessories.
We provide a very safe environment for women to be able to gather, where they can ask questions, where they can learn more about their bodies, about their relationship, and be able to even take products home to take their relationship to the next level. One of the things that Pure Romance has done is we have spent a lot of money in training our consultants, you know, to be very well versed and very well trained, and being able to really help that person when they come into the ordering room to make the right selections for themselves, and to be able to walk into a woman's home and have everybody excited that you're there because of what you're going to be able to educate them and the product that they're going to be able to take home and the life changes that are going to happen to them.
Now in its 18th year, this ever-growing corporation boasts over 70,000 consultants worldwide. Consultants who have fallen in love with a different way of life. A life with a schedule that meets your needs. Accessories that enhance your experience in the bedroom, and fun, interactive parties that feed your soul.
Most women are saying, listen, I want to go out there and be able to make $500 to an extra $1,000 a month doing this. And there's some women that are like, look, I just want this to be full-time. I want this to take over my full-time job. And some women are like, look, I want to take over the world. Get out of my way. I want to have this business, and I want to be able to retire off of it. So there's all types of women that get involved in this. And that's the great part about it, because it is a melting pot of professionals.
You got to remember, I was a pediatric nurse's assistant. I had 4 children. I had a high school education. You know, I wanted to be a room mother. I wanted to be able to meet that bus. I wanted to be able to take my kids to the pool. And more than anything, I wanted to be able to pay for extracurricular activities for my children. And so therefore, the very first night that I went out and did my very first presentation, and I mean to tell you, my heart was pounding like crazy. Instead of looking out there and thinking, I can't do this, oh my gosh, I'll never be as good as so-and-so. What I did is I looked out there, and believe it or not, I made everybody into a dollar bill. And I thought about how I could be able to pay my bills the next day, you know, how I was going to be able to put food on my table, how I was going to be able to take care of my children.
This is the time that you can take control in owning and operating your own business. It's the time that you could take control and saying, you know what, I'm not going to let somebody else tell me when they're going to lay me off or when they're going to cut my hours back. I'm going to control my own destiny because I deserve it.
It's always about the consultants. It always has from day one. I asked them, what are some of the things that you're looking for? And you know, a lot of them have never even had a family vacation. A lot of them have never even been on an airplane, you know, before even starting with Pure Romance. Gosh, Patty, without Pure Romance, I would have never thought that I would be on an airplane, or, oh my gosh, this is the first time I've ever got to see the ocean. This is the first time I put my foot in sand. Do you know what that's like for me?
The great thing about Pure Romance is we give women the ability to have choices, you know, and that's one of the things I love about this. Choices control our successes and choices control our failures.
I've seen a lot of women, heard about a lot of women who say, I don't think I could do this because I'm such a quiet and I'm such a shy person. You know, I love sharing my experience with them, you know, on how I was that person too. And it makes you so much more confident, not only as a leader in business, but also as a woman. And you know, when you're going out, you're meeting other people outside of Pure Romance. You can really see the confidence within.
Up till now, our growth in the company is just getting started. Over the next 10 years, it's going to continue to grow exponentially. It's going to continue to grow from the United States to overseas to be a global player in this business. It's going to continue to grow and give women the opportunity to own and operate their own business, give women the opportunity to pay off debt, to give them the flexibility to be able to spend more time with their family. Right now is just the beginning. This thing is getting bigger and bigger every day, every week, every month, and every year.
It's really about what is it that you want from this business. The company is there to help you every step of the way. You're in business for yourself, but I can tell you right now, you're not in business by yourself.
Our job also, corporate, is to continue to motivate them. We continue to motivate them with incentive trips, continue to motivate them with going different places, our different boards from our President's Club, our board of directors, our senior board, our executive board. They run and operate their business. Our job is to navigate them to make sure that they run a successful business.